Alright, now let's see some of the basic components of the camera. The waist level finder, and the roll film holder, and the lens. Let's start with this guy. This one has a magnifier release. When it comes, you can fold it in and fold it out. It's not hard. As soon as you pull it out, it will start cunking out. See, it returns. So you pull it out and it will lock into place. Then you cannot push it back. The only way to move it back is actually physically squeezing these sides in. See, you squeeze those sides in and it's gonna start folding itself. And it's pretty sturdy. It doesn't go out of the way anywhere. And then it will lock itself and it doesn't come out. I mean, obviously with some hard action, you'll be able to open it. And as you can see, it has a little viewfinder there. Magnifier, and that will be the next thing. The magnifier gets open with this little crank right here. You turn it to the side, basically push it that way, and it will pop it out. I lied. Actually, you push it to the other side. I usually do it well on camera, and I actually don't even use this a lot anymore because I designed a new one, and I'll show you do that later at the end. But yeah, you push it that way. Then basically you can barely even feel it because when it goes down, it gets really squeezed. And this thing is really well designed. I mean, it has a little space over there, you see that, to feed the actual I don't know if you can see it, but it fits right in there. I mean, everything is designed to the T. It's so minuet. And then you just put it that way and this thing just pops out this way. There's I think 3 different magnifiers, and with this one you can see the whole screen while you're looking at this. It's good, but it's not good if you have a crop screen because of the digital back and you're shooting a full body person and you want to focus on the eyes. This is not enough. That's why I made another one. This is a -1.5 magnifier, and it has the finder release button. Has basically 2. You see that the little thing right there, and it has a little arrow pointing in. It's like an enter kind of arrow. It goes down in that way, and then this one goes down in this way. So basically it tells you just to squeeze it in, and when you squeeze it in, it's pretty hard actually. When you squeeze it in, it moves those clamps. See, and that's how you lock in the camera, because the camera has this little locking knobs. So the way to put this is it has those a little entrance over here, and that goes in the back, and these little holes in there. So you put that there, and then you cannot squeeze it down. You actually have to squeeze those 2 in, and then push it down, and then let it go, and then it will be really sturdy in there. See, and to take it out, you have to press on this wall, so the sides as well. I have taken one of these apart, and this actually Mamiya screen is actually just a piece that is screwed in together, and there are some people who has actually replaced this, or their name or whatever they want. The next up, it's the roll film holder. This also, as you can see, has an alignment mark that you have to align obviously with the camera circle, wherever it is, because if the circle is up here or if the circle is down here, you can always align these either sideways or the front, depending on what your circle is. So if you're shooting, let's say, portrait, and you want to take this film and you want to put another film, you can actually put it portrait again. You don't need to roll it back and then put the film. I mean, even that detail is pretty smart about this thing. The dark slide, this thing over here that prevents the light to spill onto the film, it's really important. But if by any reason you need to remove the dark slide while this thing is open, because it will not let it go. You cannot pull it out while it's not connected to the camera. But if by any reason you need to, there is a pin in here. You can see that little dot in there. You can squeeze that in and pull the dark slide out. And let me just hit it. There you go. It's actually pretty easy. And there it is. I don't have film inside, so I no worry. But yeah, that will be a way to just unlock it manually. Not a lot of people know that. There is a little pin right left, top left corner. You press it, you can take this out. Okay. Next thing is a band knob, and this is pretty cool. When you roll your film, you can just like scroll this and it will lock your film. It has a direction. It cannot go backwards. Not even if it doesn't have film, it will not. It will just not go backwards. And then it has the dual exposure counter. This is a feature of the RZ67 Pro II bags, which it will show you the counter wall is like this. You can see it is Jesus, it doesn't show. And the S in there. It will show it like this, or if you turn it, it will show you it on this side. So either you see it on the right side or you see it on the left side, but it will always show you. And then let me show you a really cool feature. I'm just gonna put it in. The way to put this in, you see those 4 knobs. It has 4 holes, and then the alignment button over here. It takes a while. It doesn't really just go in like. It has the rails, so you can just squeeze it in. But with the experience, you can make sure that it works. Now, when sometimes the camera stops working, just wiggle it a little bit like this. And I'm saying sometimes, and it has never happened to me, but I've heard of other people. And all that it is that the contacts are not making well contact, or they're dirty or something. So sometimes all you need to do is just roll it back and forward. You know, just make sure that it's locked into place and it's not just like off place a little bit. A cool feature, once it's in here, you don't have any problems to put this thing out. So when you take it out, there is a dark slide storage slot, and I didn't knew nothing about this, but you can just put the dark slide on the side like here, boom, and it will just hold it there. It's just like a little pocket, so you can hold your dark slide. It doesn't affect anything or anything, but I used to take it off and just put it on the side until I actually read the manual and saw that this thing has a holder there. Also, another thing is this. I know a lot of you may know what it is, and a lot of you may not know what it is. This camera, or this bag, is a 120 bag, and it uses this kind of films. The 120 film. This is Fuji Color Reala, and there is a Kodak Portra, and there's some black and white films. We have all kinds of film. A lot of this is black and white actually, Ilford. This one, you know, and a lot of them come with the little square. It's either here or in the big box, but they always have squares that show information about the film that they're holding. This square, you can just rip it off, and then you have a bunch of squares. See that? So whatever film that you're gonna put in there, you grab one of those squares and you slide it through this. Boom. And there you go. Now you know what film is inside, or if it has film or not. You gotta obviously be able to you know, go forward with it. When you take the film out, make sure to take this out, you know, store it somewhere. And I have a little collection of the films that I've used in the past, or that I'm planning to use or whatever. And you can put, I mean, most of them are actually designed to fit in this place, or this place is designed to have that one there. Now all of these came from the same package. It was a big box and it had all these squares, so basically I just grabbed scissors and just like open it. And then this one is actually the cover that closes the box, as I showed you. That's pretty cool. This is called a memo clip. And now let's go open this thing. Yeah, another thing, you cannot open it, and this is very important, you cannot open it. You see, it has lock down here. You cannot move this thing to open it unless it has the dark slide. You gotta take out the dark slide, put it in there, and as soon as in there, now you can move this and it will let it go. Very important, because the Polaroid bag does not care. You can put the Polaroid there, There you go. You can lock it. See? It's right there. It should be ready to work. You can take the slide off. It's huge, I know. It also has the thing to cover it, to hold it, but it doesn't have a place to put this thing. It has this thing so you can open it and load your film. Polaroid, as some of you know, it will shoot the square format, and it will use the whole screen back here. I don't have any Polaroids to load on this. I promise I'll do a video as soon as I have some. But the very important thing with this bag and this is that the Polaroid doesn't care if you don't have the dark slide. It will let you take it off without it. And this is really bad. So if you have some Polaroid there and I take this back off, I will kill an exposure just by doing that. So this is actually kind of dangerous. And actually in that photo shoot I was using Polaroid back, and once I got the shot I was changing to this, and I lost a lot of well, not a lot, but yes, a lot, like 5 or 6 Polaroids, because I just took the back and wanted to put this back on, because the models are there, they're ready, they're waiting for you. So you take the Polaroid back off, you want to put this one, and then you look at the Polaroid and the poor thing is burning there with a big hole. So it's very important to be aware that you have to put this back if you're changing between Polaroids and film when you're shooting. Okay, so then we have the dark slide, obviously, we gotta open this. So these are cover latches. You can see it on the side there. Basically just put your finger between that and push it up. See, it's a little latch there. There's another one here, and it opens. Once you open it, you can take this cartridge, a spool, whatever you call this, cartridge, spool carrier out, and you are left with this. It's the dark slide still here. You have a lock release lever. This one over here kind of locks it in, and then you have the holder lock lever, which will keep the camera, the back in place. And then you have the film speed dial, which ranges from 25 to 640. So that's your this is basically what it has. It's not much. So with this one you can actually leave it there if you're just re-rolling. The cool stuff is on this one. This one has a what they call a take up spool, which should be on this side, and then the film should be on this side, and then it has this would be the, let me just change it over here. You have to do this on this side. Okay, so this will become the take up spool, and this will be the film spool stud, and then the spool release pins are these two down here. So when you squeeze that, it will allow you to put the other one in, and same as this. So you have to squeeze that in and then move it, and this just holds the film in place. It's just a little kind of has some play in there, and then it has a start mark right there. So all the films, when you load them, and I'll probably load one in a bit, they have a starting mark, so you align it to that, and then you can start shooting. And then you have some obviously the rolling thing, and that will be it. That will be it for the back. It has this little thing which is connected to the camera, and whenever you turn this, it actually turns that. So that goes through that hole. Make sure to put it through the hole, and then it closes. Make sure that it closes all the way and lock it. and then your back is ready. The backs also come with a little cover that you can take off and cover if you're actually moving the camera somewhere or whatever. So we're just gonna put this. It's pretty fast once you get the idea of how to do it. See, it's put in place already. You open it, take it out, and close it. I didn't need to move that lock or anything, and actually it's pretty. See, it's ready. The last part we're gonna check is the lenses, and these have quite a bit of stuff in them. So first there's gonna be the flash sync, the terminal, the X sync, which is this one right here. It has a little X, which is the X sync, and this is the one you connect to your strobes or your trigger, your flashes or whatever. This one has a lot of the new cameras actually come with this attached on the left side most of the times. This one is on the lens because the trigger is here, and this is the knob for calculating the depth of field over here, and it basically will tell you if you're doing, let's say 8 and your focus is at, let's say 1 meter, and obviously if you don't want to use it in meters, you just turn it all the way around on this side, and then you have feet. Let's say if you have your focus is at 3 feet, your subject is at 3 feet, something is at 3 feet that you're taking pictures, it will show you how much you can go back and forward while in focus. That's the depth of field. So let's say you're doing f8, you have basically from 3 feet to a little bit of more 3 feet, you know, from 275 to 3 feet, and from 3 feet to 3.5. So you have what, from maybe 290 to 3.10 or something like that if you're doing f8. If you're doing the f32, then you have from 2.75 to 3.5 feet. Obviously the more further your distance is, let's say if something is at 10 feet, then you have maybe approximately from maybe 6.5 or so, I don't know, 6 over here, 6.5, yeah, 6.5 to 30 feet focus if you're doing 32. If you're just doing 2.8, it will be from 10 to maybe 11, and from 9 to 11 if you're just doing the 2.8. So you can have an idea of how much your focusing area is. So if your model is at a certain distance and you have to open the ring, and to open the rings down here, this is the I forgot the aperture ring, and obviously it goes from 2.8 to 32. So you can decide, okay, my model is at that distance and I have set up the distance, and the way you know actually what is the distance from the model to you is with this thing. Whenever you see the model that is on focus, it would actually tell you according to those curves what is the distance between you and the model. So that's pretty good. So you can know exactly, you focus, you make sure that it's on focus, and then you can see the distance from here, and then you can adjust the distance that you have in there, and then you can know exactly how much distance you can actually focus. So you can tell the model, okay, you have, you know, a step forward and a step backwards on that area you can move, or you can tell the model don't move an inch because you're gonna fall out of focus. Then we have the mirror lockup cable. This will go in here. You put the mirror lockup cable, release socket. So when the mirror is locked up, you have to release it. You put the cable inside there, and then this is the time exposure lever. So if you want to do more than what the camera allows, you just gotta let it be like that. Click the shutter, and then it's gonna stay there until you actually release the lever. And then we have the lens distance scale. You already saw that. And this is the bayonet ring, which kind of assembles the back in place. Nothing moves, it's just the back. So imagine this is a lock, and when you put the lens on the camera, you turn it and it will lock. And it has the shooter cocking pins. These ones will allow you to move the shutter. See, it kind of closes and opens, but you have to move both at the same time and squeeze that pin up there, because this is the lock over here, you see. Anyway, that will be pretty much for the lens, and I'm just gonna put it back in the camera, align both of those things, align it with a little dot up there, and then turn the side. And it doesn't turn all the way, it just stops like around there. Most of the lenses are like this. Some are just larger and have different focusing. This is not from 2.8, it's from 4.5 to 45, and it has the focusing, the depth of field, aperture, and this, as you can see, is separated because it's locking the back. So if I put this back together, if I put this back together, then I can remove the back. That is locked. That's the 180, and then this will be the 50, and it has pretty much the same. So if you thought that all these little numbers were just for show, now you know actually how to use all of this. Well, kinda. And also it has forgot to mention, the lenses have this whatchamacallit, this is the preview, it's like the aperture preview. Depending on the aperture that you set, I think it's easier to show on this one. Yeah, this is a very important one, this right here. Depending on the aperture you set, let's say I put f32, that will be really close. You press this thing, and actually it will close it up to f32 right there. You can see? So when you're looking through the camera, you can actually preview how much focus you have just by pressing this side over here. And I actually do use this. And if you put it at, say, 5.6, when you close it all the way, you can see how much light is entering and how much is in focus. And actually it does change, and that's 2.8. As you can see, it doesn't change a thing. It will only work when you have more than the opening one. That's the focal distance, depth of field preview. A lot of the new cameras actually do have it, but I don't see many people actually using it because it's for more of a precise type of work, so you can actually see it. It will also become darker as you press that thing up. Alright, that will wrap up the parts of it, and then we can move on.